Atomic structure or structure of atom. Atomic structure or structure of atom. Yes, tomorrow advanced exam. So atomic structure or structure of atom. In this chapter, what we have to learn? What are the topics here we are going to take discussion? So here the topics in our atomic structure are, first one, discovery of electron, proton, neutron. Discovery of electrons, protons and neutrons. Second case, that is some properties of electrons, protons, neutrons, some properties concepts. After that, already we completed isotopes, isobars, etc. Already in a set, there is a stoichiometric cases, those are completed in isotopes, isobars. After that, that is different model of atoms. Different model of atoms. What are those models? One is, first of all, Thomson's model, Rutherford's model, and next Bohr's model. It is very, very important. Bohr's model, Sommerfield's model. So these are the different model of atoms. Next, up to this, old concepts. So in between them, some, that is spectra also. Spectra. Some spectra, emission spectra, absorption spectra, hydrogen spectra, all about spectra we are going to discuss. Here, all these are old concepts, old atomic structure parts. After that, that is de Broglie's theory, Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, Schrodinger's wave equation. This is nothing but quantum mechanical model of atom. Schrodinger wave equation is nothing but quantum mechanical model of atom. At later, some electronic configuration rules. What are those rules? Hund's rule, Pauli's exclusion principle, Abba rule, all those rules with examples. And later, nodal points, nodes. Simply, it is nodes. And lastly, electronic configuration, stability of elements, magnetic properties. These are all comes under our atomic structure concepts. Among all these, the major part is applicable for Bohr's theory. Nearly 3 to 4 days required for the explanation for that Bohr's theory. Remaining all are very rare cases. That is simple one. So that is the target in your atomic structure concepts. Today I am going to discuss the discovery of electrons and some properties towards that electron, proton, neutron. So here within 1 hour I am going to complete these 2 topics. So now this atomic structure not in your tomorrow's exam. That is why I am taking the first 2 parts only here. So tomorrow I am going to discuss different model of atoms, Monday onwards. Okay, every day I will send the notes, no doubt. So every day I will send the notes because that is important to read and to gain more marks. Yes, it is today only the introduction part towards your atomic structure. Now, atomic structure. Atomic structure. What is the atom? atom concepts are completely explained on the basis of Dalton's atomic theory. So what is this Dalton's atomic theory? Dalton's atomic theory is there. This Dalton's atomic theory already completed in our 10th class, I think. This Dalton's atomic theory clearly explains law of definite proportions, law of definite proportions, law of conservation of mass, law of multiple proportions, law of definite proportions, law of multiple proportions, law of conservation of mass. All these properties are clearly explained by Dalton's atomic theory. Okay, so but there is a little confusion, Sandy. So that means some properties are not explained by this Dalton's atomic theory. What about those properties? So let us take a silk cloth. Rub the silk cloth with your hand or something else. Automatically, it acquires some electricity, some charge. Why the charge is available? Why the charge is developed on that silk cloth? Because of this rubbing. That is not explained by this Dalton's atomic theory. That is why Dalton's theory is not sufficient. The Dalton's theory is not sufficient to explain the structure of atom. So later number of developments are going on during the developments, because according to Dalton, atom is the smallest part. According to Dalton, atom is the smallest part. It should be uncuttable. So atom combination molecules, molecule combination matter. So atom is the least part. Atom is the least part. That is according to Dalton. But later scientists, researchers, and some developments are going on. In the developments, atom also contains some subatomic particles like electrons, protons, and neutrons. How these are discovered? What is the discovery of this one? So based on after these discoveries, this Dalton's atomic model is discarded. But Dalton's atomic model clearly explains this concept, because most of the reactions, all reactions are totally taking place with the help of these atoms, not with electrons or something else. That's why all those reactions are explained by this Dalton's atomic theory, but not major properties. That is why. So what are the developments that are taking place after this Dalton's atomic theory? So how those electrons, protons, and neutrons are developed here? Now, today is our topic, that developments after this Dalton's atomic theory. Why the charge is developed on that silk wool or something else. So that is why. So what are the developments here? I am going to discuss here. So after Dalton's atomic theory, William Crookes is available. William Crookes. He constructed a tube which is called as the Crookes tube. Crookes tube, that is called as a discharge tube. That Crookes discharge tube is frequently used for the discovery of these electrons, protons, and neutrons. In particular, electrons and protons. So how this one is possible? So what is the discovery of this electron? I am going to explain here. So see here. So that is cathode ray experiment. Cathode ray experiment. It explains, it is the discovery of electron. It is the discovery of electron. Okay, so this is a cathode ray experiment. So what is this cathode ray experiment? It is totally based on Crookes tube and Crookes discharge tube. By using this Crookes discharge tube, he identified some rays. So here, what they are observed. This is done by J.A. Thomson. J.A. Thomson discovered as an electron. So how this is possible? So let us take the experimental evidences here. So take Crookes discharge tube, that is a glass tube. It is the glass tube. closed both the ends, closed both the ends. That one and this one both are closed. These ends are fitted with a metal plate. These are taken as electrodes. So this tube contains a vacuum pump. Vacuum pump. So this tube is connected to vacuum. That means the pressure inside the tube are going to decrease or increase with the help of this vacuum pump. Next, these two are connected with a high voltage end. High voltage battery. It is high voltage. How much is the voltage? Nearly 10,000 volts are maintained here. Nearly 10,000 volts. This tube is called as Crookes tube. In this tube, this is negative, this is positive. This is negative terminal, this is positive terminal connected to the battery. High voltage is connected. So this negative one is called as cathode. This plate is called as cathode. This plate is called as anode. This plate is taken as anode. This is completely transparent glass. It is completely transparent glass. Slowly, the air present in this tube is slowly decreases. So air is going to decrease. That means automatically the pressure inside the tube also decreases. So later at the pressure, that is, how much is the pressure inside taken? It is 0.01 mm of Hg is applied. 0.01 mm of Hg with voltage of high, almost it is high voltage. It is very low pressure. Low pressure and high voltage conditions are applied here. At this condition, so they observe some rays which are coming from cathode end. So actually these are not visible. So these are visible with that is a transparent. That is these inner walls of this tube is coated with ZNS. This is the inner walls. Inner walls are coated with ZNS, fluorescent material. So when a particle strikes this one, this is ZNS, fluorescent material. So when particle strikes at that position, automatically blinks. It is the lighter end. So it blinking absorbed. So some particles at this pressure and at this voltage, some rays are coming out. Those are not visible to our naked eye, but observed with that blinking on ZNS screen. So some particles which are coming from cathodes. So in this direction, cathode towards anode, these rays are moved. This is observed. Scientists. So what are the properties of these rays? These rays starting from cathode, that's why these rays are called as cathode rays. These rays are considered as cathode rays. Okay. So in the absence of this, that means, see here. So what are the properties of these cathode rays? The first property is these are not visible. These are not visible, but its behavior can be observed by striking in coated surface. When those rays are strikes on coated surface, so those are observed. Actually not visible to our naked eye. Okay. Next point. What is the next point here we observe? That is, these rays are moving from cathode to anode. Starting from cathode and moving towards anode. Cathode is the negative terminal. Okay. So these are in the absence of electric and magnetic field, in the absence of electric and magnetic field, okay, these travel in straight line and these travel in straight line. So very, very important. So these are moving straight line in the absence of external electric and magnetic field. If electric and magnetic fields are applied, okay, they are not in straight way, they bend in one direction. So they bend in the one direction. So that means, so these are influenced by the electric and magnetic field. These are influenced by the electric and magnetic field. Now what we observe? Now what is the next point here we are going to observe here? That point is, third point, in the presence of electric field, in the presence of electric field, these rays attract towards positive terminal end. That means these are attracted by positive end. So when these are attracted by positive, that means from this point we concluded that these have negative charge. These have negative, because these are negative, these are attracted by positive. That means these rays have negative charge. These rays have negative charge. Okay. So my dear boys, it is very, very important. So that means these cathode rays are nothing but, therefore, cathode rays. So because these are starting from cathode, that's why these are called as cathode rays are negatively charged or negatively charged rays. They have negative charge. These are nothing but negatively charged particles. So these are negatively charged particles. These cathode rays, whatever it may be, the gas inside is taken, not influenced. That is, it is independent of gas taken inside the vessel, inside the tube. It is independent of gas taken inside the vessel, inside the tube. Okay. So very, very important. If magnetic field is applied, against opposite to this one is applied. Opposite to this one is applied. So next, fourth point, what we observe here, it is independent. Independent on the material taken as cathode. It is independent on the material taken as cathode. Whatever it may be the material taken, it is zinc metal or copper metal or something other metals, whatever it may be the metal, all these rays are we observed. So independent on the material taken as cathode. So okay, later these particles having negative charge, no doubt these are observed. These negatively charged particles are named as electrons by J.J. Thomson. So Thomson named that those particles are nothing but electrons. So this is the discovery of electron. So this is the discovery of electron. That is based on this. That is, what is that tube? That is Crookes tube. Based on this Crookes tube, automatically here they observed these particles as they give these particles as electrons. So it is very, very important. So this is given by the name electron, that is the discovery of electron is given by the scientist Thomson. So this is electron. Now, what are the charge of electron? What is the mass of electron? What is the charge to mass ratio of this electron? All these are explained by the J.J. Thomson. See here. Now, our topic is charge on electron. Before going to that, how to find out the specific charge of the electron? First of all, specific charge is identified. So what is the specific charge of that electron? specific charge of electron, nothing but charge. It is the ratio of charge to mass. It is the ratio of charge to mass. Charge is indicated with the letter E and mass is indicated with the letter M. So the charge to mass ratio is called as specific charge. Specific charge of that electron. So he observed that J.J. Thomson is observed. So the deflection of cathode rays, deflections are there. The deflection of cathode rays are directly proportional to magnitude of charge. That is, more is the charge, more is the deflection. Less is the charge, less is the deflection. And also inversely proportional to mass of the particle. These are the experimental evidences. The deflection of cathode rays, that is, these are negatively charged particles. These negatively charged particles deflected towards positive. That deflection is directly proportional to magnitude of charge. More is the charge, more is the deflection, and inversely proportional to size. More is the size of the particle, less is the deflection. That means these are the observed facts. That means so charge is directly proportional and inversely proportional to mass. That is, that ratio is considered as charge to mass ratio. This is calculated by J.J. Thomson. The final value of this one is, please be in mind, the final value of this one is 1.7588 into 10 power 11 coulomb per kg. E by m value of electron. Electrons E by m value is calculated by J.J. Thomson. That is, how much is the value? 1.7588 into 10 power 11 coulomb per kg, or 1.7588 into 10 power 8 coulomb per gram. And 10 power 8 coulomb per gram. This is the specific charge of electron. Please be in mind, this specific charge of the electron not depending on nature of the material. So nature of the material, but so mass and magnitude are depending here cases. So it is the specific charge of electron. Next, how to find out the charge of the electron? So charge of the electron is calculated by using the experiment. That experiment is called as Millikan's oil drop experiment. By using Millikan oil drop experiment, so charge of the electron he predicted it, he calculated it. That is, Millikan identified oil drop experiment, that is charge of electron. Charge of electron, it is by Millikan oil drop experiment. It is by Millikan's oil drop experiment. By using this Millikan oil drop experiment, so he calculated, that Millikan calculated charge on the particle end, that is the charge on the electron end. So see here, there is a chamber. There is a chamber. This provides a microscope or telescope having microscopic arrangement. Here we are going to visualize. Here we are going to visualize. So what happened inside in the chamber? So from the top, an oil drop is going to falling down. Oil drop is going to falling down. So it acquires some charge because it is influenced by radiation. This oil drop has some charges there. So how that drop is going to falling down? So by using this eyepiece, by using this microscopic telescopic arrangements, so there are some techniques. Those techniques are not needed for our syllabus, so no need. So by using those techniques, the charge on that oil drop is calculated. The charge on the oil drop is nothing but n into En. It is the integral multiple of a fixed value. N. E is the charge, so it is the integral multiple of fixed value. Here n is the integer. That is, so 1Ne, 2Ne, 2E, 3E, 4E, or something value, multiple values observed, because In one drop, it is E and in another drop, it is 1E may be possible. That is 2E may be possible. And another drop, the charge is 3E and that is a fixed value multiple is possible. And multiple value of a fixed value is possible. And so that is observed by Millikan. So that is why finally charge is directive is equal to N into E and charge is calculated by using the formula charge Q is equal to N into E. That is finally given by that Millikan. That E is the charge of the electron. The charge of the electron later calculated as charge of the electron is equal to 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. Charge of the electron by using this experiment later calculated by this Millikan. That is as E is equal to 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 millikan or 4.8 into 10 power minus 10 ESU. So that is Coulomb's value. This is ESU, electrostatic unit set. 4.8 into 10 power minus 10 ESUs or 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. This is the charge of the electron. This is the charge of the electron. So that is by this Millikan oil drop experiment. Here N is nothing but N has values 1, 2, 3, etc. infinity, anything else. N is an integer. So it is a multiple of integral multiple of certain value, and that value is E. And E is the charge of the particle. So magnitude, that is a fixed value, multiple value is available. And so this experiment is not in your syllabus, my dear boys. Don't feel like that. So there is no need of this experiment. That is why I am not explaining this part. So from the experiment, the formula is Q is equal to N into E. E is the charge and N is the multiple value. So that is either 1, 2, etc. Anything is possible. So integral multiple of such a fixed quantity is the charge on oil drop. So that is due to electron cell. That is due to the presence of that electron cell. Okay, so it is very, very important. Now we have charge on the electron and also specific charge on the electron. By using this charge and specific charge, we are going to calculate mass of the electron. By using this charge and specific charge, we are going to calculate mass of the electron. So we know charge of the electron is equal to 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. Specific charge of the electron, E by M value is equal to 1.7588 into 10 power 11 coulomb per kg. These two values, this is from Thomson, that is from Millikan. By using these two, I am going to calculate mass of the electron, that is charge to mass ratio, which is nothing but mass of the electron. So specific charge to specific charge, that ratio, that is E by E into M, and E gets cancelled, finally we get M value. M is the mass of the electron. So how to calculate the mass of the electron? Mass of the electron is nothing but the ratio of charge of the electrons to the specific charge of the electron. We know these two values, charge of the electron and specific charge of the electron. So now specific charge of the electron, how much is this? 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs by specific charge of the electron 1.7588 into 10 power 11 coulomb kg inverse. So coulombs cancel. That value is equal to 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg or 9.1 into 10 power minus 28 grams. So 10, that is the value. So be careful. It is the mass of the electron. So mass of the electron is equal to 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg or 9.1 into 10 power minus 28 grams. So this is the way to find out mass of the electron, charge of the electron, and specific charge of the electron. So and discovery of electrons. So the discovery is done by the scientist Thomson. So that is all about based on that cathode ray experiment. The cathode ray experiment is based on, that is Crookes tube. Crookes tube. Please be mind that just these values you should mind it. That's enough. So one of the scientists, so oil drop experiment, he find out the charge of the particles by using the oil drop experiment. Okay. Now, there is another experiment, that is anode ray experiment. In previous we are discussing that cathode ray experiment. Now it is anode ray experiment. Anode ray experiment. So it is nothing but canal ray experiment. Anode rays are also called as canal ray experiment. Canal ray experiment. Okay. What is this anode ray experiment? So just like in your previous case, see here, there is a glass tube closed at both the ends. In your previous case, there are two metal plates, acts as one anode and cathode, using negative, positive, high voltage battery. It is Crookes tube. Here there is a vacuum pump. So this is vacuum pump. It is connected to vacuum pump. This is previous case. This is negative terminal, this is positive terminal. It is cathode, it is anode. So it is positive, it is negative. Cathode and anode. Now, instead of this metal plate, a perforated cathode is used. Perforated means a small holes are there. So these are the holes. These are the holes. A perforated cathode is used instead of ordinary cathode. Next, in previous case, there is air or something, 0.01 mm of Hg pressure is used. Now, here, a gas is filled with low pressure. Gas is filled with low pressure. Now, depending on this gas conditions, some rays against to the exactly opposite to the cathode rays, and new rays are coming from anode. New rays are coming from anode. These are observed by taking, that is a fluorescent material. This is the fluorescent material, ZNS screen. So this is the ZNS screen. So by using this fluorescent, these are also not visible to our naked eye. So after striking, passing through these holes, after striking, so these are some blinkings are observed. So that means some rays are coming from anode, these are observed. So those rays which are starting from anode are called as anode rays. So these are also called as canal rays. So these rays, in previous case, cathode rays, not depending on the material taken by this metal plate set. And what is the gas present inside the vessel? But now these rays depending on in which gas it is present inside the vessel. In which gas is present inside the vessel, it is dependent on this gas service. In previous case, it is independent on the gas, but it is dependent on this gas. These values, so that means these gases are deflected against to that. That means in previous case, cathode rays moving towards external electric and magnetic fields. It is positive plate, it is negative plate, electric field is applied. So these rays, if it is cathode ray, these rays are attracted by positive terminal. But if it is anode ray, attracted by that is negative terminal. Because it is attracted towards this negative terminal, these have positive rays. So because it is attracted by this positive, these have negative rays, negative values. This one has a negative charge, this one has positive charge. That means exactly opposite to the cathode rays. All the properties exactly opposite to the cathode rays. Those are independent of the nature of the material. Those are independent of the nature of the material. These are dependent on the nature of the material. So this deflection, there is a deflection in it. This deflection is a maximum if the gas present in the tube is hydrogen. If hydrogen gas is filled there, the deflection is maximum. Maximum deflection. That means more deflection means less is in mass. Less is in mass. So these are the different points observed here. So later, these cathode rays, these anode rays are nothing but some charged particles, that is positively charged particles. These are later named as protons and protons. These are nothing but charged ions and charged ions. Those are particles, these are ions and these are charged ions. And so after that, E by M values, some values are calculated. So these are nothing but protons. So here electrons and protons are discovered like this. So my dear boys, here all the properties are exactly opposite to the cathode ray properties. And those are independent, now these are dependent. And these are dependent. The maximum deflection is when it is possible, where hydrogen gas is filled in tube, the maximum deflection is observed here. And maximum deflection is observed here. So this is all about the anode rays, nothing but canal rays. Anode rays or canal rays. And okay, so these protons are discovered by protons or discovered by Goldstein. So the proton discovery is identified by that is discovered by Goldstein. So those are nothing but protons. Okay. Next and last, there is neutrons. Neutrons. How these neutrons are discovered? Discovery of neutrons. This is by Chadwick. Discovery of neutrons is done by Chadwick. So later, very after identification of, after discovery of that electron and proton, almost 100 years, after 100 years, this discovery of neutron takes place. So that is unexpectedly by Chadwick. So this is in radioactive, that is some radioactive reactions. And here, beryllium, this reaction is important. Beryllium, atomic number 4, mass number 9, is bombarded with, collided with He24Na, which is nothing but alpha particle. He24, this is beryllium. When beryllium is bombarded with alpha particle, that gives carbon 612, carbon 612, and N01. This is nothing but neutron. Neutron. This is nothing but carbon. It is a nuclear reaction. One nucleus is bombarded with another nucleus. A new nucleus is formed along with a neutron is ejected. A neutron is ejected. So this is observed by Chadwick. This unknown particle having, so this much, that is neutron. It is unknown one. That is named as a neutron. It has no charge. It has no charge any. Neutral any. Neutral, because electrons has negative charge, protons have positive charge. Now this one has no charge, so no charge is a neutral. From this neutral, a neutron is identified. So that is by Chadwick. So this is the discovery of neutron by Chadwick. It is a basic equation. So beryllium nucleus is bombarded with helium alpha particle and gives carbon and a neutron. So this type of reactions, one nucleus bombarded with another nucleus gives a new nucleus. This is nuclear reaction. During this nuclear reaction, so neutron is discovered, and that is by Chadwick. Okay, it has no charge. It has no charge. So chargeless species is neutron. So now I'm going to calculate. I'm going to give some properties towards this electron, proton, neutron. That is how much is the charge, electron, proton, neutron, who discovered. So some characteristic properties. See here. So what is the table? That is particle. Particle. It's a symbol. It's a symbol. absolute charge, absolute charge. Next, relative charge. These are used in your calculation purpose. Relative charge. Next, relative mass. Relative mass. E by m values. E by m values. Relative mass, E by m values. Now, one by one. The particle is electron. Let it be electron. The particle is electron. Its symbol is either E minus or E minus 1 0. It is a symbol for electron. E minus 1 0 or E minus 1. Its absolute charge, already I calculated that, that is 1 point minus n, negative charge, 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. Relatively, it is taken as a minus 1 charge. Relatively taken as minus 1 charge. Relative mass, mass of electron is relative to hydrogen, it is 1 by 1837 times of that proton. 1 by 1837 times of proton. Next, E by m of that electron is 1.7588 into 10 power 11 coulomb per kg. 10 power 11 coulomb per kg. That is the E by m value of this particle electron. Next, second one, proton. Proton. It is indicated with the symbol just P or P11 or H11. It is a symbol for proton. Anything is useful. P11 or H11. Okay. Its absolute charge, because it is negative, exactly opposite, its value is positive and plus 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. It is positive charge, it is negative charge. Plus 1.602 into 10, exactly opposite charge. It is indicated with letter plus 1 and plus 1 and its relative charge is 1. In this, it is 1837 times. Yeah. So when compared to proton charge, electron charge is 1837 times. That is that the mass of proton is greater than that of mass of electron. Okay, its value is, its E by m value is 9.58 into 10 power 7 coulomb per kg. Because mass is more, automatically E by m value is less. So here mass is less, E by m value is more, because E by m value is inversely proportional to mass of the particle. Next, neutron. Next, neutron. Neutron. So it is relatively taken as N01 and it is a symbol for neutron. Next, its charge is 0 and chargeless particle. Relative charge is also taken as 0 and relative charge. Mass is almost proton mass equivalent, almost equivalent. Okay, because E value 0, E by m value also equal to 0. E value 0, E by m value also equal to 0. Okay, so absolute mass. Okay, these are the values. So it is a relative mass. So absolute mass is today. It is 1. So just a minute. Absolute mass of electron. So that is 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. It is absolute mass. Absolute mass of that electron. It is 1.673 into 10 power minus 27 kg. It is absolute mass of proton. It is 1.675 into 10 power minus 27 kg. See here, it is 1.673, it is 1.675, a little bit more for neutron. a little bit more for neutron. It is very, very important. So this is absolute mass. And so this is absolute mass. This is absolute mass. This is absolute mass. And these are relative masses. These are relative masses. So in general, from the data, order of mass is equal to whose mass is high. It is minus 27, it is minus 27, it is minus 31, but it is 1.675. So mass is neutron greater than, proton greater than, electron. It is the order of mass. It is the order of mass. Now, order of specific charge. Specific charge, including alpha particle also I am going to consider here. That is neutron less than, alpha less than, proton less than, electron. It is the order of specific charge of different species. So this is very, very, very important. Mass order is exactly opposite to the specific charge, because specific charge is inversely proportional to mass of the particle. Inversely proportional to mass of the particle. So on your board, some values are there. All these values are very, 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 very important. All these values are very, very important. So these three particles are collectively called as fundamental particles. Fundamental particles of the atom. That means atom also contains electrons, protons, and neutrons. Electrons, protons, and neutrons. These are all nothing but subatomic particles. So these are all subatomic particles. All these are subatomic particles. Among all these subatomic particles, nearly greater than 100 subatomic particles are there in it. Greater than 100 subatomic particles are there. Among them, the major are these three. That is, these are considered as fundamental particles. These are all considered as fundamental particles. Okay. So besides these fundamental particles, there are some other subatomic particles are there. What are those? Frequently used subatomic particles. I am going to write here some other subatomic particles besides this electrons, protons, and neutrons here. Now our topic is some other subatomic particles. Some other subatomic particles. What are these other subatomic particles? So after electron, proton, neutron, the frequently used one is positron. Other subatomic particle is positron. So its symbol is exactly opposite to electron, E plus N. Electron is E minus, it is E plus N, which is also indicated with beta plus N. Beta plus. It is nothing but positive electron. Electron is negative, but it is a positive electron. But it is a positive electron. It is highly unstable. It is highly unstable. So when this one combined with electron, when it is combined with electron to form gamma rays, that gives gamma rays. So electron plus positron gives gamma rays. So electron and opposite to electron, positron and opposite to positron. These two gives gamma rays. It is the frequently used positron and other than after electron, proton, neutron, the frequently used word is positron and it is anti-electron and opposite to the electron. Anti-electron. Now the second one is neutrinos and neutrino, which is neutrino or anti-neutrino, both are available and neutrino or anti-neutrino. So these have almost zero charge and zero mass. There is information there from this neutrino or antineutrino. These have almost zero charge or zero mass. Next, third one, another one, which is meson. Meson. Frequently used one is pi meson, and mu meson are frequently used words. Pi meson or mu meson are frequently used. So they are nothing but mesons. So what are these mesons? Mesons are nothing but it may be positive or negative, and it may be positive or negative. Any charge may be possible. Its mass is in between electron and proton. The mass is in between electron and proton, so it has both positive or negative charge. Either of these are possible. Next and last, that is antiparticle ending. Antiparticle ending. It is another subatomic particle. It is a particle with opposite charge ending. It is a particle with opposite charge. So these are frequently used. Among all these, this is very, very important. These are all subatomic particles. This is very, very important. So it is positron is exactly opposite to the electron. Positron is exactly opposite to the electron. So these are other subatomic particles, but the frequently used one are electron, proton, neutron. Okay. For which opposite means if you take positive proton, if you take proton, it is opposite to the proton. If you take electron, it is opposite to the electron. So generally used one. So, but very, very rare cases, almost negligible condition. Almost negligible condition. So among all, this is the only most important part. Okay. These are all subatomic particles. What are some problems based on these topics? Just a few problems are there, one or two problems. So by using those problems, yes. Okay. So what are those problems based on today's concepts? A small problems, and see here. Two problems are there. After these two problems, we are going towards atomic models. First one, problem number 1. Find the E by M value of alpha particle. Alpha particle is nothing but He plus 2, and alpha particle is commonly taken as He plus 2 with respect to hydrogen atom. What is the E by M value of alpha particle with respect to hydrogen? E by M, charge to mass. And here charge of alpha particle is given as plus 200. So charge is 200, relative mass. If hydrogen is plus 1, that is plus 200. By hydrogen mass, when compared to hydrogen mass, the mass of that helium is 400, atomic mass. Therefore, it is equal to 1 by 2, which is equal to 0.5. And E by M value of alpha particle. E by M value of alpha particle is the most important one, simplest one. Next one. What is that? Another problem here. An oil drop has an oil drop has 8.0 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. charge. 8.0 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs charge. How many electrons? How many electrons does this oil drop has? Does this oil drop has? How many electrons are there? So total charge is given as 8.0 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. How many? So our formula is total charge Q is equal to N into E and total charge Q is equal to N into E and now total charge is given as 8.0 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs there, which is equal to N into 1 electron charge is 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. 1 electron charge is 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. Now calculate N value, that is the number of particles. So 10 power minus 19, 10 power minus 19 cancel. Therefore, N is equal to 8.0 by 1.602, which is equal to how much it is? Finally, it is equal to 5 times that N. 5 times. Therefore, 5 electrons are there. 5 electrons are there. So by using the formula, Millikan oil drop experiment, total charge is equal to N into E. 1 electron charge is 1.602 into 10 power minus 19. There is a fixed value, we know that. So N is the number of particles, number of electrons. And last one for today's class. In oil drop experiment, the charges on oil drops, the charges on oil drops were found as the values are given as 1.5 into 10 power minus 15, 3 into 10 power minus 15, 4.5 into 10 power minus 15, 6 into 10 power minus 15. These are the values given to you. Calculate the charge magnitude. The charge magnitude on electron. Calculate the charge magnitude on electron. Okay, see here, how much is the charge? So these are the values given to you. So now I'm going to write these values as 1 into 1.5 into 10 power minus 15. This is 2 into 1.5 into 10 power minus 15. This is 3 into 1.5 into 10 power minus 15. This is 4 into 1.5 into 10 power minus 15. That means this is the common factor. Now, these are N values. Compare these values with N into E. So these are N values. So charge on electron is the magnitude of that electron is 1.5 into 10 power minus. That is the common factor. That is the common factor. That is the answer is 1.5 into 10 power minus 15 coulombs. Minus 15 coulombs. That is the magnitude of charge on electron. So not always 1.602. It is 1.5 into 10 power minus 15. No one is given to you. We are frequently used the 1.602 into 10 power minus 19. Okay, so that is the common factor that is applied. That is the formula. What is that formula? Q is equal to N into E. By using this formula, it is the charge magnitude. That is the charge magnitude of 1 electron. That is the charge magnitude of 1 electron. That is, here the value is 1.5 into 10 power minus 15 coulombs. These are some basic terms.